Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of Seen Beyond and Through with Monty. Right before you is Kanye West. Now, Kanye West has said some very interesting things regarding race, and I want you to have a look at what he had to say.
My dad was a Black Panther, but, when Disney makes Black Panther, now when you look it up, you don't see my dad protecting his neighborhood or snatching a mic out of somebody's hand while they're lying. You see this character that's made for Black people to idolize that was designed by a white person and put out by a white company. So it's controlling the narrative to say, we're going to show you Harriet Tubman, we're not going to show you Nat Turner. And they do it every chance they get. Maleficent, they called her race of people the Moors. And the Moors are, and I just saw it again. I was just like, yo, if you erase our history, like most Black people, we don't know where we come. We think we came from slaves. We don't know our bloodline. And we're given Black History Month, and we take that like it's some gift to us. No, it's a programming.
Okay, so you heard that. He talks about where his father used to be a Black Panther. So I guess at one point in time, he installed certain pro-Black beliefs into Kanye. And Kanye spoke about erasing our history. He talks about things being presented to us as a gift. And some things are very much programming. And so forth. Now, in this particular case involving Kanye, this could be true. However, let me point out something to you. His actions do not necessarily match his words. And when people are speaking on being pro-Black, you have to look at how are they living and conducting their life. In Kanye's case right here, what has happened with him is this. Kanye talks about erasing our history. Now, there are many ways in which you can erase someone's history. And one of the biggest ways in which you can erase your history is reproducing out. Kanye West has chose to marry. Well, they're divorced now, but he was married to Kim Kardashian. And he reproduced 4 children with her. One can look at this as many times Black people, particularly Black men, are deceived into looking at this as a gift. No one seems to like biracial children more than Black men. Black men tend to put biracial children on a pedestal. So one can look at this as this is presenting as being some type of a gift or some type of a something that we can pedestalize, hold above, cherish in the wrong type of a way. And I say that simply because they're biracial. I think children you should be proud of them, but I think that you should be proud of them because they're healthy, not because they are non-Black. And in Kanye's case, like many Black men are getting into these unions, they seem to not want to reproduce children that look like them. It seems like they prefer to reproduce children who are half of what they are. So I'm going to call, suspect to that particular practice in which he does. Now, what Kanye has a recent tendency to do here lately, after he divorced Kim, and that is not really dating Black women. He tends to date others. And one can look at this and say, well, couldn't this be a form of programming? You have fallen in like and you've been brainwashed to like what the white man presents as the epitome of beauty. And you tend to have fallen in like with these types of women on multiple occasions. So therefore, it just seems like to me that you talk about idolizing something. One of the biggest things that can be presented for black men to idolize through programming is white women. And he seems to do just that. So I find Kanye not to be really practicing what he preaches. And this is very telling. It's almost like do as I say, but not as I do, or what I do, it's okay. Or maybe he's so blind that he doesn't really see this. You know, people toss around words like genius, musical genius, which I don't really see that, to be honest with you. But that's a whole nother topic there. And sometimes these people are nothing but very frightened, insecure, unstable people who put themselves on a pedestal to speak out simply because they're a celebrity. And many times they're not fit to be spokespersons for the black community. What they probably need to do is to get their shit together. Go to a psychiatrist, psychologist, sit on that table, and do hours and hours and years of therapy. But many times when people have fame, celebrity, and a vast amount of wealth, in their minds, they've made it. They're a success. They do not believe that wanting or needing help really applies to them. A lot of times it's just a big ego. And many of these celebrities are trapped with this monstrous ego where you can't tell them anything. They truly believe that they are living what they're speaking. And in Kanye's case, you can clearly see that he's not. It just seems to me that he prefers another type of woman who does not look like his mother. So therefore, if that's really the case, all that talk about a gift to us, it's programming, mindset, being pro-black, looking out for black people, I don't really see where that applies to Kanye's case. You know, Kanye's wealth is in the billions. It's been estimated between 2 to 6 billion, somewhere in between there. But we surely can estimate that he's at least a billionaire. But with these children who you have reproduced out with others, some of that wealth is going to be gone into the hands of others because these children have a small likelihood of marrying and reproducing with black people. Most biracial people within the United States, a very large percentage of them tends to reproduce with white people. And that's another thing when we talk about erasure. Kanye's bloodline, pretty much his genetics, if these children do choose to reproduce with white people, it's pretty much going to be washed out. It's going to be erased out. So therefore, he is not at all practicing what he is preaching. And I call this to be very much a racial confusion. I think that people will say and think that love conquers all. They give that junk out there. Most of this interracial stuff today is self-hate. It's not liking oneself. Obviously, if you want to reproduce a biracial child and you're deliberately trying to do that, that is some type of self-hate or being uncomfortable with oneself that's going on there. Kanye West has 4 children with Kim. Yeah, some type of self-hate is going on there. And this vast amount of wealth that he pretty much built up, half of that's going to be out the window. But this is from someone who tries to speak and talk and act like he's just so pro-black. If anything, what this man is more like pro-confused. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is another edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty, and I will see you all beyond and through.